But the sister said something. She said, so an independent woman can't coexist with an independent man as business partners, but not even on that, because business partners depend on each other. Yeah. A relationship is a business. You understand me? Because those activities got to be profitable. You have to be spending time and getting a return on your investment. The product of y'all love is the business of y'all relationship. And you have to understand that why would an independent man want a woman that can't depend on him? She don't depend on nothing. That's not his woman. They not really together. They don't even need each other for nothing. So you talking about it's interdependency that is the science of a relationship. So the problem is this: the moment white supremacy made the black woman independent, she didn't depend on no man. And the moment they made the black man dependent, no woman can depend on him, which makes them go in opposite directions. Definitely. If you get in a business relationship with anybody right now, and y'all are both independent of each other, y'all don't need each other, why are y'all in that relationship? This is independent. That means the business is gonna boom without you. Why the hell is you here? I got a business partner for no goddamn reason. You getting somebody because you lonely, not because it meets the criteria of the science of relationships. That's different. We talking about the science of relationships. So the science of relationship has to be understood. And we're really talking about marriage, because that's the point where, you know, and marriage is more so this, because we're not just talking about their concept of marriage where you sign the paperwork in their courts by their systems, people duly appointed by their institution. Because I feel like you can create a trust, you can create your own agreement with somebody, and it can be considered a marriage as well by the agreement that you all create. But when you're talking about what makes a relationship, period, right? Let's just say relationship. What makes a relationship work? And why you gonna get in a relationship? We talking about for a family. If you're talking about two people that don't want to create a family, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. That don't even matter at this point. Don't even matter. Nobody's just trying to help y'all hang out. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about them getting a child and them building a nation for nation building purposes, different conversation altogether. That means you're talking about two people who have to come together based on the science of how relationships work so that they can have long-term success to be able to build upward. That's a different story. So everybody is trying to make their individual lifestyle fit the science of relationships, which has nothing to do with nation building whatsoever. So you want to take the status in which you here, you don't want to sacrifice nothing. You don't want to change anything. No, you want to live in your own separate house. You understand me? Have all separate money, separate business affairs, and say, but we in a relationship. That's not how it works. So let's deal with it from a cultural standpoint. When we're talking about how every other culture has an understanding of relationships more important. See, what y'all got to understand when you're talking about this independent woman thing, what does that mean exactly? Because go ask an Asian man if he has that got a wife, do he have an independent woman?
That's only the black culture.
Depends on me. This how we gonna make the family work, because the man has to have a role, and she depends on that man to do his role and his duties. Come on now. You go to the Hispanic community, ask him if he got an independent woman. Oh, my woman knows I'm the provider, the producer, the protector. You understand me? She depends on me for that.
Dude, even with Beyonce, even though she made that song Independent Woman, she been married for what, 10 years plus.
Well, because Jay-Z gives her a certain education as well.
Yeah.
Teaches her new things. You understand me? We taught to put everything by the grading of how much money you got, to where that counts as independence. No, because true independence, just go and be alone. Ain't nobody say that you can't have your own money though. I make that clear. The Quran even speaks upon a woman having her some money. You understand me? You can set aside money because no woman should be left to the point that if there's a no good man that leaves her or does something wrong, then she doesn't have the ability to be able to fend for herself or to raise those children properly. We're not talking about that. So what we have to do is reconstruct the idea of what independent even is. We talking about this independent mindset that you have where you say, I don't need nobody. You understand me? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally. That's one of the bigger issues. Because you think that the financial independence make you the whole woman independent. No, we're not talking about that. Because then you leave no room for a man to be a man in a relationship. What the hell can he do in the relationship if you are completely independent? He has nothing to do and he has no reason to be dedicated or committed to you whatsoever. How you go commit to an independent woman? She already independent of you. How you committing? What are you committing to? That's like you going to a job, but this job is an independent job. So do I work here or not? But you committed to the job to come work. Well, it's independent. You're not gonna really get paid. You got an independent artist, but he got a label. Nah, you an independent artist. Why you need the label if you're an independent artist? You got to depend on, for some reason, there has to be reciprocation in exchange of value. So we got to understand what are our functions, what can we commit to in those functions so that we can commit to those relationships that we build with each other. And what is this relationship going to produce? Because an unproductive relationship is not worth anything. An unproductive relationship is not worth anything. Somebody say, should women support men who don't choose us? No.
No.
You shouldn't even be speaking to a man who doesn't choose you. You shouldn't even speak to a man who don't choose you. Why? You shouldn't even be having a conversation with him. And that's the problem with a lot of different people these days is you want people who don't want you. And they don't have to tell you they don't want you. They telling you they don't want you by action. Because they're not doing the things that will allow you to be dependent on them in the first place. If a man is not doing the things that he not committing to provide and protect emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and here with his time and his energy, he ain't choosing you. See, the thing is, y'all be tricking yourselves because you say, well, they didn't say I'm not in a relationship. Don't mean it ain't happening. No. You think you're slick. Yeah, this talking to IWS. Pops go over this. You think you're slick. See, because actions are words. Because communication is expression. So how a person expresses themselves, those are words. So we think that because a person didn't say it, that it ain't true. You can be in a relationship before a person ever tells you. A man gonna always let you know what he's thinking about what he does. So here's a man who ignoring you, he's obviously is expressing to you, you have no value to him. But you be lying to yourself, trying to fill in the words that were never said because of what you want to feel, what you want to happen, and then the reality of what's going to actually taking place. So a lot of women lie to themselves by creating illusions, and then the man allow the woman to lie to themselves. But the responsibility is the woman has to stop lying to herself, conjuring up images and ideas and fantasies and illusions that are just not realities. And then allowing yourself to see the action as the word rather than the words as the, you got to get results. So once we can teach this properly and a woman can see the signs, she's trying to hold up relationships that have already failed because of her insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make this work, and if it don't work, then I feel like my own value is based upon this relationship. So if this don't work, then that must mean that I don't have value. Nobody wants me. We have to stop teaching women this mindset. We have to teach them to be able to think in a manner. Nobody tell you to allow a man to think for you in every situation and regard. And the only time you want to be independent is financially. No, nobody can make you feel better. You have to make yourself feel better.
Self-love.
Yes, the love has to come within, and other people help create conditions so that the environment and that self-love is sustained. Because the way I love myself ain't based on my girl. The way you love yourself ain't based on your girl. The way you love yourself, ladies, ain't based on your man. Hell no. I love myself, which means I'm not going to put myself in environments, situations, and relationships that will rob me of my own self-love. Because now I must be staying in this because of the insecurity, a lack of self-love. So we both have self-love, and we help each other maintain that love for self by making sure that we allow an environment where our values, integrities, and purpose can be consistent and fulfilled and sustained. That's the best love, is the reflection of all love. I got that on my chains. Self-love is the reflection of all love.
Self-love.
Self-love. A person just helps you maintain the love that you have for yourself by putting you in environments that allow you to maintain that integrable love for self. But when you start being with somebody and your confidence is dependent on how they feel about you, that's a problem. But if you want to be with somebody and you feel good, but you know, like, all right, my self-love needs affirmation. So you get with a man who never speaks life to you. You may need a woman who gives you inspiration. You get with a woman who never compliments you, never bigs you up. You understand me? Nah, that ain't self-love. Listen, I can't stand this relationship because the way my self-love is set up, these are the standards that I have. So self-love creates standards. And if the person you with cannot meet those standards, gotta go.